Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to TCG University. It's me, Noah, here with another deck profile for Denki 2 Dot. Denki 2 Dot has a... oh, Jesus. Sorry. So Denki 2 Dot has a static that says, I cannot discard momentum to pay the cost of keyword abilities. Very important. And then I can add the top card of my deck to my momentum once per turn, and then enhance my turn, discard all my momentum. My opponent commits X foundations equal to the amount of momentum I discarded. 6 hand, 25 health. Kick off with the attacks because that's the favorite part about this. We played 4 copies of Blitz Rush because it's just free damage with the way Denki plays. That's 2 free damage just off of using Denki's ability the turn you play it, which is super cool. I never use the Deadlock Enhance, but the Deadlock Enhance also commits foundations due to the number of momentum you have as well. 2 copies of Searing Glacial Storm, just so we can reset the board, because we want to do our best to kind of keep their board committed and tapped down as much as possible, and this just helps reset it back to 5 foundations, so we both are playing from what I would say a neutral start at that point. 4 copies of Grasping Tape Toss is probably the only charge not in the deck. I like Searing Glacial is, but it essentially flashes itself after the first enhance. So 4 copies of Grasping Tape Toss, just so we have the stun on it, which is super cool. The ability that if it's not blocked, they commit one, and it also deals damage, so it's a free momentum regardless, unless they wall cling it. 2 copies of Cinder I always fuck this word up. It's Convection. Cinder Convection, not Convention. Don't know why I keep saying Convention. Cinder Convection, 2 copies. Charge, powerful 3, never can use, range, and stun 1. Enhance, discard a momentum to give +1 to all the keyword ratings. So we essentially can discard a momentum to give it stun 2. Play it, gain a momentum, discard it, give it stun 2. Super cool. One of the cards that we build up as the kill card, besides Blitz Rush, we play 4 copies of Indiscriminate Volts. This card says I can tap one of my foundations to make an opponent commit one of their foundations. It has stun 1 on it, which means that's 2 foundations down, and then it gets +1 damage for each foundation committed. So generally, you play this, you use Denki's ability to make them tap out, and then you hopefully kill them from there. Very flavorful. 3 copies of Electric Surge. It's probably, like, oddly, a lot of people might like this card, but I would never play it more than a 3 of, personally. It's a 4/4, it's very basic. Stun 1, if it goes to momentum, you can flip it to gain a momentum, or you can discard a momentum to give it 3 damage. Otherwise, it's kind of like, meh. Like, I'm not super into it, but it is nice to have. My favorite card out of Denki's kit, though, is definitely going to be the 4 copies of Electric Jolt we play. Charge, EX2, stun 1. It goes into momentum face up, and I can flip it in my momentum with its ability to target commit a foundation that they have. And then the enhance on it is if it's completely blocked, it still deals 1 damage. So I always get that momentum regardless. Moving on to foundations, we play 2 copies of Defrosting for speed hate or damage hate, whichever one we need. If we want to give speed or damage to my attacks so they can push through, it's just a generically good card to play under all of its symbols. We play 3 copies of Making a Stand, so we can either make my rival discard a momentum, or we can give my stun attacks +1 damage, and an extra +1 damage is always nice. We play 3 copies of Short Circuit because we kind of want to live and not get beaten up before we can beat them up. So resetting things back to printed is pretty nice. We play 2 copies of Shock Treatment. It's a unique, otherwise I would definitely play more copies of this card. We can blow it up to target commit, or we can discard a momentum. I believe to target commit, correct? Discard a momentum, yeah, to target commit as well. On my turn only on that last one, though. 2 copies of Rocket Attitude, because it's just a nice way to gain momentum if we block with something. 3 oh my god, I can't set cards now. 3 copies of Drowning and Resentment. Words hard. This card can give stun attacks +2 or -2 damage, which is super cool, and then the response is also playable while committed, I believe. No, that's not. My bad. So the response is flip after a card leaves a discard pile due to your rival's non-character effect. They have the top card of their deck to a card pool face down, so it essentially stops your opponent from like trying to card pool clog you for whatever reason if it comes from discard, which a lot of cards do recently, and it stunts their turn as well. You probably never use that response generally. We're playing under order, so we are allowed to play 4 copies of Classmate Introduction for a free 1/1 on the first attack we play every turn. We have Fulfilled My Duty, just so we can essentially in the enhanced step whenever we need to in case things are looking scary. 3 copies of Charged Up, just for more momentum gain. The more momentum, the better, generally speaking. This is just a super cool 6-check to play. That's really the only reason we play it. I don't see enough Fury attacks to make me want to use the 3 damage neg. Intimidating Presence, we play 4 copies of, just because if we block with it, their attacks get -1 speed for the rest of the turn, so it kind of counterbalances itself out. And the response is meh, okay, but like I never build this card in anyways. The response is just after your rival readies 1 or more foundations, you can flip one of them, which is cool. I just never use it. 3 copies of Ice Gliding, because it's probably one of the best speed hate cards in the game at this point. 3 copies of Self-Sacrifice in case I'm starting to build into Deadlock. I have an ability to give things plus or minus damage, so it's just really nice to keep myself out of it. 4 copies of Desperate Times, because, I mean, we're playing an order deck. We kind of want to commit things as much as possible, and Desperate Times says that they draw, they get to commit something. 4 copies of Gotcha, because it's just really nice to have in case we're stunned or in case we commit it, so we can give speed to any of our attacks if need be. And it's spam. And also spam 4 copies of Requesting Assistance, because it lets me restand foundations and continue my turns if need be, or keep my defenses up. Going through with Denki, I really like the deck. I like all the decks I build. I've said this numerous times before. Again, this is one of the ones I think I just kind of cut down a lot of those things, like Drowning and Resentment was never really used. The attack lineup's kind of on the bigger side, just because we gain free momentum, so we never know if we're going to lose an attack or lose foundation in the process, so the more we have, the better generally. Otherwise, I don't have too many major criticisms besides like his attacks just don't generate speed enough. That's always going to be my biggest issue, which is why James's Z to 2 dot was super sick, because it generated speed and he was able to draw his attacks consistently. If you guys have any comments, please leave them down below. Like, subscribe, check out our Patreon, check out our TCG player, all that fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. There are more to come. Enjoy.